Xtract is a Diamond Award winner at the DIA Amsterdam event, when they just came out of stealth. Their connected claims platform bridges the gap between the connected car and motor insurance. Xtract captures multiple data sources and data points at first notice of loss and derives value via data aggregation and visualization techniques. They capture all sorts of data from any telematics device as well as user input crash data to recreate the events before, during and after the incident. Today they will showcase their newest features. Next on stage, Xtract.
Hello everyone. Firstly, I'd like to say it's great to be back at DIA. We had a great couple of days here in Amsterdam the last time. And when I was last on stage, I spoke about the problems surrounding telematics data and how it just isn't being used effectively in the claims process. It's predominantly being used for underwriting purposes with very little focus on claims. So I demoed the Xtract platform and showed how we can take raw telematics data from any device and present it in a way that's so visual that it allows a claims handler to see exactly what happened moments after the crash occurring. I also spoke about the current manual FNOL process where handlers and policyholders are still sketching out on pen and paper what happened. And I showed how we can take this FNOL data and make it come to life to drive better decision making. But today I want to show you two new capabilities. The first one is our new policyholder process, and the second one is our new liability predictor. So the current FNOL process is you have an incident, you call into your claims handler, and you get asked a number of questions as to what happened, and they try and determine who was at fault. A lot of insurers today have now introduced an online form for collecting this information. But there's a key area that they all miss, and that is what actually happened and who was at fault. That's liability. So the handler can create the incident. Now at this point, they enter in the date and time the incident happened, and also the license plate. So they just put in license plate here. So at this point now, they can go through the FNOL questions with the handler, or they now have the capability to share this with the policyholder, and like this, and we can share a link with them, and we want to get their version of events. And click this and share. Now at this point, the policyholder should have gotten an email. Here we go. And they can get started on filling out the information. So first they put in the license plate. Can't even spell the name. There we go. And we can begin the process. So the first question is, where did the incident actually take place? So they type in the location. That looks okay. Click next. Now we want to drill down to exactly where the actual crash took place. So we'll zoom in. So we can drag the incident pin to exactly where the crash happened. Very easy to use, and this is fully customized for mobile, so it looks really, really slick on mobile. What was the date and time it happened? We've already provided this to the claims handler, so we're just confirming it. Now we want to know what direction was I driving from. So I drag our vehicle pin down here, because I was coming up this road. So now we go into the damage. Where in the vehicle was it struck? Well, front left corner was really bad. And was it scrapes? Was there some dents? Or was the panels completely destroyed? Well, it was heavy damage. And we had some damage to the left-hand side, which is medium damage. No damage to the wheels, no damage to the windscreen. Click OK. So now we ask the question, what was the third-party vehicle involved? Was it a car? Was it a motorbike? Was it a bicycle? Well, it was a car. And what way were they traveling from? So they were coming out of this road here. We dropped the pin here, and that looks correct. We then click continue, enter in some text as to what happened, and click finish. And that's the process done. Very simple, very easy to use. Now if we go back into our claim that we created, which was an empty claim, if you see here that we have this PH icon, so this is policyholder, so we've now received the policyholder's input. And what was an empty claim has now been populated with all the information that the policyholder gave to us. And the handler can very quickly go in and replay what happened. But we've also, if we go into our damage panel, we can also assess the damage to the vehicle. Is it repairable or is it a total loss? And we see here that the vehicle is repairable and the reserving cost is just under £4,000. And we get this from our data partner, Xtract. We also go into the weather conditions and we can see that it was a cloudy day, nothing too serious, it didn't make a big difference. So let's start adding in some information around a third-party vehicle. So first we type in their license plate. And then where were they struck on the vehicle? Well, they hit us head on. So damage was heavy. Update this. And what's happening is, in the background, it's taking in the license plate, looking up the vehicle, looking up the severity of damage to the vehicle, and it's also doing a triage on the third-party vehicle as well. And the third party is a total loss. But what's happening in the background as well is that we're looking at the characteristics of the event, what two vehicles were involved, where were they struck, and what roads this happened on. And when we go into our liability panel, we've now also predicted who's at fault. And we can see here that the third party was 100% at fault. They come out of a side road, and we back up these decisions based on highway code, based on case law, and we also provide a text description, all using AI to predict what happened. So we trialed this with an insurer a few weeks back, and their current liability process, they would send out a form to the policyholder, 3 pages, they'd have to sketch out in a little box what happened. It was submitted, it gets stuck in a backlog, probably sounds familiar to a lot of people, and eventually it got processed. 21 days this process took. They used our new mobile process. They got this down to hours, and in most cases, this was down to minutes. The number of touch points it took them to be able to make a liability decision was 5 across their claims. Using this process, they brought that down to 1, so significant savings. So I now quickly want to talk you through a telematics incident. And the great thing about telematics data is that if it's used correctly, it can provide so much insights as to what happened. So just picture this for a moment. The crash happens, the event file is pushed from the telematics device to Xtract, we analyze it, and we present this output to the handler within seconds after it happens. So at the bottom here, we've created a timeline. So this is really important. This brings the claims handler through what happened. And bear in mind, this is happening within seconds of the crash occurring. We can see here that the person, they put the brakes on, they tried to slow down, and then we bring it on, and they came into a cornering event. So they tried to take the bend, but unfortunately it didn't go well. It was an impact. It was a 5.6 G-force impact. This is really severe. And if we go into the weather conditions, we can see it was nighttime, roads were wet, it was raining as well. So again, what was the visibility like? But based on all this information we've already captured, we can already make a liability assessment. And we can also predict that this was 100% our driver's fault. So now what we can start doing is we can now proactively take control of the claim, and we can get in touch with a third-party vehicle, and we can find out what their license plate was. So we type in their reg. Click update. So now what it's doing is it's pulling in the vehicle info, and we see this, the third party it was repairable. We know the vehicle details of the BMW. But if we actually go into the setup and add in the zone of damage as well, and click in the severity and update it, it should upload now. Classic. Anyway, we'll finish it up. What I was getting at was, there it was back in there. If we look down here, we've now predicted the third-party likelihood of injuries to the third-party vehicle as well. And this is key. Because we know our vehicle was at fault, we can proactively, as I said, take control of the claim, liaise with the third party, make sure that we keep the costs down to a minimum, and get the vehicles into our network. And again, that's where the savings are. So just to finish, we built Xtract not to replace your current claims process, but to enhance it. And we can easily integrate into your current system very easily. We've already done integrations with some of the largest claims platforms. One action I'd ask every insurer in the room to take: trial Xtract for 1 week, feed in historical claims, feed in live claims, and allow us to demonstrate to you how much we can save you on efficiencies and on indemnity spend. Thank you.